So you see her there looking obviously incredibly distraught. She confirmed this later, saying, since it's already being reported, yes, I left the oversight briefing with Epstein victims early. As a recent survivor, now 2 years in, I had a very difficult time listening to their stories. Full-blown panic attack, sweating, hyperventilating, shaking. I can't breathe. I feel the immense pain of how hard all victims are fighting for themselves, because we know absolutely no one will fight for us. God bless all survivors. And I will assume that it's authentic based on what she has revealed has happened, or I imagine it would potentially cause some sort of panic attack or something like that. And I will set aside the knowledge, like deep in my mind, that all she's done in office for the past couple of years is stunts for attention, mainly vicious, horrendous attacks against the trans community and everything. And I will assume that she's being honest there when she says everything she says, including God bless all survivors, although presumably not trans survivors of the disproportionate levels of both physical and sexual abuse that they suffer. They don't matter. For her political career, they need to be set aside and ignored, actually persecuted. But anyway, I'll set all of that aside after bringing it up prominently. And I will say that I imagine those representatives who met with the victims probably feel something like Nancy Mace. Not all of them will have had that experience, but actually hearing them, I imagine, has to be a very powerful experience, hopefully a motivator to want to push for actual disclosure on everything that happened with Jeffrey Epstein. And that's why I would say I'd love for Donald Trump and JD Vance to have been in that room and listen to them. And why is it that Donald Trump has no interest whatsoever in ever being within 100 yards of any of those women? Again, I am not saying he did anything to them, and they're not saying that he did anything to them. So all the more reason that it's super strange that he has no interest. And since he's clearly never gonna be the driving force for justice, hopefully some of those who were in the room, Nancy Mace being one of them, maybe can be. And if this swung a few Republicans to support the discharge petition, to force a vote on the documents coming out, I think that would be great. Apparently, thus far, this is the latest. My producers are telling me this in real time. Thank you, producer Ashley. Representative Ro says we need just 2 more signatures. So far, they've received the signatures of 212 Democrats and 4 Republicans. So Massey, obviously, Nancy Mace, to her credit, Marjorie Taylor Greene, again, to her credit, and Lauren Boebert, for the first time ever, to her credit. What the hell is going on with the rest of them? I guess maybe so far they weren't that affected by talking to those victims, but I hope that some of them, there's still time, can be swayed. Maybe some of those Republicans can talk to their colleagues. Sharon, what do you think?
You're so smart, and the way you dissected Nancy Mace and her current positions in the trans community and others, and the hatred she spewed, it has me thinking globally again. Can I do a carve out here? I will say this, doesn't surprise me that she ran out of the room crying. I don't know how any woman, much less a survivor as she is, could stomach listening to that, which also then makes me globally think, how can she stomach Donald Trump as a survivor? I wonder if any of the men ran out of there crying. I mean, you have a daughter. I have a daughter. I'm a woman, but none of the men ran out of there crying. He's begging. I saw him. Roe was begging, okay, for 2 more votes. And this isn't political. It's about kids being the R word or the M word assaulted, okay? Their childhood, life, ruined. That's actually what it's about. So perhaps this will be an awakening for Nancy Mace, but then hurt people. So maybe that's what we're dealing with along with her. I don't know, but it's just a painful stain on America. Another one.
Yeah, and by the way, I know, strategically, it's not smart of me to point out these things when on this particular issue, look, she's apparently signed it. So that is what actually matters, okay? But it's not the only thing that matters. I mean, when you're, constantly inspiring your followers to demonize and hunt down trans people, that is grotesque. And so, I don't doubt at all the authenticity of her response. And again, she's doing the right thing. I can't fully set aside, because this is not just a game to me. This is real life, that she is a grotesque person in every other place than this place we're in right now. And so, okay, I hope that they get the 2 votes. That is what I will say. I would love to have literally any breakthrough that gets through this ironclad cover up that Donald Trump and 98% of right-wing media have been able to perpetuate thus far.